Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we've got the Morgan Township Board of Zoning Appeals, August 14th, 2025, 7 p.m. Dale, would you call order, please?
Mr. Grody,
Present.
Mr. Griffith,
Present.
Mr. Gaines,
Present.
Mr. Bresnan,
Present.
Mr. Hernandez,
Present.
Ms. Reinhardt,
Present.
all are present. Dale also, Dale Marshall, zoning administrator, is here. All right, Steve.
Okay. We have minutes from the last meeting on July 31st. Only Gabe and Justin and Chris can vote on approval of those minutes because you were the only three here. So if you take a minute to read through them.
I looked at them online.
It's on here.
Yeah, I saw it come up.
Any additions or corrections?
I don't believe so. I looked at them online yesterday, so
Anybody make
yeah,
a
be good.
motion?
I second that.
I'm making a motion to approve the
I
minutes
second.
as is.
We say so.
Justin, do you approve?
Yes.
Chris
All in
first.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Since there's three of you? No? Okay. All right, next is, we have a hearing tonight, MTBZA 2025-A3. We started this back in May, June,
No, go a little
January.
earlier than that?
further.
Okay.
Yeah, go back to January.
As you're aware, from the first time, you need a minimum of 3 votes for it to approve. If anybody from the audience wants to speak regarding this case, you need to come to the podium, state your name and address, plus, prior to that, Dale was gonna ask if who wants to speak needs to be sworn in. I believe that's it. So Dale?
Okay. Those of you who, the whites, you need to stand as well. Anybody else who's going to speak tonight, please raise your hand. Excuse me, I'll get it out. I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Be seated.
All right, Dale, you want to
Yeah, let me get my
give us a little overview?
little overview here of it. I want to do something here. Down here. And I want to switch it over for a moment, okay? Okay. Okay, this is the, on April the 7th, came Matthew and Jenny White to me to reapply. They submitted an application for a Board of Zoning Appeals hearing asking for an area variance from Chapter 6, Article 6.1, conformance, Chapter 7, Article 7.8, area front and yard requirement, and Chapter 19, Articles 19.1 and 19.2, exceptions and modifications. This brings a whole new world to this, and we have to be looking at those articles and those articles only for the rest of the period of time. The White's property is parcel number G321017000102. Is located in Morgan Township, Section 17, Town 3, Range 1, Lot 102. and has a mailing address of 2267 California Road, Okeana, Ohio 45053. The Whites want to build a 25 by 30-foot detached garage. They want to place the garage in the rear side yard, right side yard. In doing so, they will not meet the required setbacks for the rear yard and the right side yard setbacks. The current requirements for a parcel that has 200 feet of or more of road frontage is 50 feet from the rear of the property line and 25 feet from the right side yard. The parcel has 371 feet of frontage. They are seeking a reduction of the right side setback of 15 feet. The Whites have stated that the depth of the property from the right side, as shown on the tax map that you see up there, is approximately 215 feet. Using Article 19 exceptions, modifications, Article 19(1), it states that if you have less than 500 feet of linear side yard, then you have the possibility to reduce that by 10%. Thus, this 2015 would bring it down to 21. But the Whites are asking for a further reduction of 11 feet, making that side yard 10 feet. At this time, I have one concern that I've always stated, and that's the runoff of the water. And secondly, I have this statement to make. When I presented this back, when I went out in January to the White's house, when we first started this, I worked with them, I measured, and everything else. I found within my purview and my being an administrator and stuff like that, that they had plenty of space to make both of the setbacks. But basically, I was told that's not where they wanted. So that's why we are here tonight.
So they're asking for 10 feet on the back and 10 feet on the side. Okay.
Can I ask Dale? Dale, could I ask you a question?
Sure.
Can you define a hardship for everybody here, please?
Yes.
Hardships are the hardest pieces to do. An unnecessary hardship is something that goes with the property that would not, if it wasn't there, you could do what you were doing. And we have to work under unnecessary hardships because the 12th Appellate Court of Butler County says that. Now, there are other parts of the state where it's a mixed bag and you can do just simple practical differences. But here in Butler County, we have to follow the Butler County Appellate, that unnecessary hardships. What is an unnecessary? I don't have an example because it could be anything, okay? And everything else.
But it has to be something.
It has to be something. Yeah, it has to be something. It could be terrain, it could be this. Can you not build because of that terrain? Can you not build because of that tree? Okay? And we've turned down a number of those where there have been those situations. You know, because you didn't, in that respect, the person or the people asking for that just simply wanted it, they want to place it there, and that's where they're going. Okay? Did I answer your question sufficiently? Mr. Griffin?
So refresh my memory, we turned down one on the corner of Okeana, Drewsburg and State Line?
That's correct. It was a frontage, it was to reduce the frontage to 45 feet rather than 75.
But there was
It
no,
was denied.
there was no hardship.
There was no hardships. He claimed the slope of the land, but it really wasn't an unnecessary hardship.
Yeah.
Because he could do something to be able to build on it.
Right.
To be able to do what he wanted.
Thank you.
All right?
Anybody from the audience? Whites, do you want to? By all means.
So
Can you come to the podium, please? Well, you've got a
You've got a
microphone there, so you're
microphone there,
good.
just turn it on.
Just state
push
your
the
name and
button,
address, please.
Get a green
Sorry about that.
thing for us.
Jeannie White, 2266 California Road. Okay. So thanks for taking the time to meet again tonight. As you all know, we're requesting a variance to build an accessory structure on the southeast corner of our lot. This request is due to the fact that we have a very limited area in which we could build the structure, which is creating hardships that are the cause of this request. Our understanding of the process is that the BZA listens to our hardship, confirms we have proved it. If there are concerns, a mitigation plan would be produced for us to follow. So we've followed all of these steps during this process, just as Mr. Marshall has instructed. And just to explain our hardships again, the entire north side of our lot contains our leach field as well as a steep slope, or a steep incline along South Dwyer with no road access. Additionally, the area directly behind our driveway has an extreme slope toward the back and side. The southeast corner of our lot is the most level area in which we would be able to build. In the first meeting, we brought everything that was required of us, improved our hardship, and you simply requested we gather additional information regarding drainage to bring back for a follow-up meeting. Mr. Marshall instructed us to contact Butler County Soil and Water for the assessment. The county came out on February 27th and conducted their assessment, followed by their report. We also had an independent contractor come out for a second assessment.
Ask them what they're gonna do with this slope.
Both agreed that with the proper drainage system, there would be no issues created for our neighbors. You can see that the proposed drainage system on the report that I had provided to Dale. And I'd also like to mention, that we've gone above and beyond to help our neighbors with potential water issues. We split a shared drainage line along the length of our property when we built our houses. That really was no benefit to us, but since our lot sits higher, we agreed to split it just, as a gesture of kindness. But regardless, we're absolutely going to put in the proper drainage system for our structure, as it will obviously help us and our neighbors. We're happy to work together, take the necessary measures provided to ensure that, the variance will not cause issues. This entire process is set up to protect all parties involved. And again, at our first meeting, as part of the process, we were requested to take additional steps to ensure that our neighbors were protected and that all has been done and this has all been done and confirmed by experienced professionals. The proposed drainage system from Butler County Soil and Water satisfies the request that you guys asked and provides both us and the neighbors peace of mind. We've done everything you've asked us to do in order to provide a solution to this concern. And in addition, I have several sources here that talk about drainage and how landowners are entitled to reasonable use of the water that flows across their property, as long as the water is returned to its natural water course. Also in Butler County, drainage and water laws generally follow the reasonable use doctrine, meaning landowners can make reasonable use of their land even if it alters water flow, as long as they don't cause undue harm to others. Landowners are generally required to accept water that flows onto their property in its natural water course. At this point, I feel we've provided more than enough evidence to show that we're willing to do what it takes and resolve this without conflict in order to keep all parties happy. We appreciate your consideration and support on this matter. We're happy to help, to answer any other questions you might have. Because of that extreme slope behind our driveway, that could potentially create more water runoff, and we wouldn't have to put in any drainage at that point because we wouldn't be, within the setback or needing that setback variance. So, Dale's got all the information there, or I have it here, of what Butler County had written up.
Oh, yeah, they have.
You have all of that?
They have
Okay.
all of that. They get everything that you gave me, they
Okay.
get a copy of.
Okay.
Or had
So
a
yeah,
copy of.
then you guys have seen what they've provided, and again, we've reduced, we're only asking for 11 feet now off that back instead of the 40 that we were originally told we needed. So I don't know if you guys have any questions for us.
Any questions for the Whites? Connie, if you have any, feel free to ask.
I do have one. Justin Breslin speaking. So the independent contractor, what did they come back and say?
They didn't think there would be an issue even if we didn't put in drainage, but we showed them then the, what Butler County Soil and Water had provided, and they said that's basically overkill, but, it would definitely take care of any concerns.
Okay.
But yeah, they were both in agreement.
Chris Gaines, what is the slope from the driveway to the backyard? from where you wanted to put it.
Like the degree of the incline?
Yeah, like, yeah, from the driveway back.
I don't have that. I mean, we could figure that out, but I mean, I don't know off the top of my head what that slope looks like, but it's pretty steep.
Steve Grody. So it's 24 by 30, is it?
26
30?
by 30, so the numbers have not really been right in a
I
lot
think
of
it's
the-
been stated 26 by 30?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what's in the application.
Okay. Well, 26 by 30, is it 30 towards the road or is it 30 along the back property line?
30 along the back.
Okay.
So basically facing the same way as the house.
Okay.
So how many feet from the edge of your driveway to the back of the property line?
Trying to remember off the top of my head. I think it's somewhere in these files, sorry. Maybe 90 is coming to mind, but. I mean, I can look through these papers. I feel like it's 90.
That's what I measured, if I may add that in.
Okay.
When I was out, I measured 90 feet from the driveway to
90
the
feet.
backyard, to the back line.
To the back line.
So from the
Yes.
back of the property line to the front of the barn, you're talking 36 feet.
Yeah.
Which is gonna cut into your slope anyways, which is part of your slope. So I guess what I'm thinking is regardless, you've gotta build something up or dig something out to make work what you wanna do. Correct?
Yes, just, yeah, not near as much. Not near as much.
Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, I got another one. Justin Bresnan. So, the access to this building that you're putting in, is it gonna be like a gravel driveway going back there?
No,
Or
we're not doing a
there's no,
drive it. No,
there's nothing going back?
no, 'cause it's just, storage. Got
I asked that
lawnmower
because
and-
if you were putting a driveway in, if you're gonna put pipes underneath it, but that
Oh,
makes
no.
sense.
Gabe Hernandez. So the independent contractor, did he give you any kind of report? Did he just talk to you about it?
No, because we had the one from Butler County, which is what
Okay.
Dale said we needed, so it was just kind of an extra peace of mind to
Okay.
make sure that we've got people on the same page.
54 feet from here to the beginning is not very much.
No.
Any other questions? Anybody else from the audience that would like to speak for or against?
Just start with the fours, or against. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Or start with the fours, it doesn't matter. If there's
It doesn't
anybody who wants
matter.
to speak for it, doesn't matter though, it really doesn't. State your name and address,
My
please.
name's Tim Duncan, 7365 South
We don't,
Wire.
we don't get that stuff, right?
No,
We don't get that deal.
it wasn't part of the packet. We did that for, Schulteis.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We didn't take anything from the Schulteis.
From Schulteis, but yet you are allowed to take it. Yeah, I've asked.
He has,
All right.
you have an opinion that we can take this.
Yes. That's one of the things I asked, over this whole 8-month period, asked about.
I remember you saying that, Dale, that you asked about that.
Yeah.
I remember.
It's not,
Yep.
I mean, because initially I was against it.
Yes.
In that respect too, so. All right. Mr. Duncan, you are free to speak.
Okay, I am directly impacted by this variance request. I strongly oppose this variance request on Southwood Road. There has been no evidence presented of any hardship. There are no exceptional topographic conditions according to the provided topography map. Do you have what I sent you to put on the
Right here.
board there?
The story.
I do have it. Just a moment, Tim, and I'll get it up.
Yeah, you nailed it.
This is,
The proposed building is going on.
here. They have an existing one there.
Thank you.
Didn't get it to the right size, I'm sorry. All right, now take me a moment and it'll be up there, okay?
So there are no exceptional topographic conditions according to the provided topography map. They are asking for an extreme variance without any hardship. This is not a minor modification. If you notice the spot right behind their driveway there, where it's nice and flat within the existing setbacks. Okay, and then the next picture.
There you go.
If you refer to the Butler County Auditor page I provided, you will see that the applicant's building fits well within the setbacks. Zoning Administrator Dale Marshall has been to the property. He measured and verified the existing 50 and 25-foot setbacks can be met with no variance. This area is flat with elevation points all within 1 foot. There is 90 foot from the property line to the existing driveway. Once again, they have the room to build their desired building on flat ground within the existing original setbacks without any proven hardship. You will see the car tire marks on this map that prove that they are already utilizing this flat piece of their property to turn around and park on the grass. My property would suffer. The existing setbacks protect my privacy and home value. The setbacks protect me from environmental changes created by the new construction. The neighbors would have 50 foot to address water runoff that they change. Without this 50-foot setback, all the changes with the water runoff would now be my problem without any room to address this. The proposed building site is not next to a farm field or woods. It's next to my house. Currently, the applicant's water runoff is east and north. I am downhill from the applicants, and I carry the majority of the water from both properties. The Butler soil and water information that was provided as evidence does not prove hardship. Page 3.
That it?
If you refer to the picture that I took from my property line, you will see that the applicant's backyard is a slight grade at best. You can see their truck parking in the picture demonstrating how flat the area is. According to the application for variance, the applicants cannot claim a monetary hardship. Construction within the existing setbacks would not require extreme measures to accomplish their building. This property is zoned A1 agricultural. According to 7-8, the current setback for all uses on less than 3 acres is 50-foot rear and 25 side. The modification 19.1 and 19.12 apply to a specific one-family detached dwelling. The definition of a dwelling, according to section 425 in the definitions, is any building or portion thereof designed or used as the residence or sleeping place of one or more persons. The definition of a dwelling, single family, according to section 4251, is a building designed for or used exclusively for residence purposes by one family or housekeeping unit. A one-family detached dwelling is a residence where you sleep. This modification by definition of a dwelling does not apply to a garage. The literal enforcement of the provisions of the Morgan Township zoning resolution would not cause unnecessary hardship to the applicants. Please uphold the existing setbacks, 50-foot rear and 25-foot side, as listed in 7-8. 19.1 does not apply to a garage. There is no proven hardship to consider any variance, and they have the room to build their garage within the existing setbacks. Any variance without a hardship would cause a terrible precedent within our township. In fact, this board has denied variances due to lack of hardship. A good example of this precedent was at 7967 Okeana-Dreesburg Road, where the variance was denied for lack of hardship. They had the available space to build within their setbacks. I have a timeline of events leading up to this. The first BZA, we were given late written notice. No evidence of hardship was presented by the applicants. I gave evidence based on the Duncan factors. I stated the applicants had the space to build within the existing setbacks. The board tabled the issue requesting a stamped engineering study. On 3/24, I went to the trustees to speak out about a conflict of interest with one of the board members and the applicants. On 3/27, the second hearing, Mr. Balzer recused himself due to unethical direct relationship with the applicants. Mr. Gaines was found to have been circumventing the situation by collecting evidence at the site by himself. With the county prosecutor and the Ohio Ethics Committee input, Dale Marshall stated that these two board members would not be involved with this variance moving forward. Mr. Balzer and Mr. Gaines both participated, had discussions behind closed doors within executive session, and voted in the first BZA hearing. They both participated in the second BZA hearing. Mr. Balzer participated even after recusing himself. I was not aware or involved in bringing up Mr. Gaines' actions with him gathering evidence by himself. I requested the video Mr. Gaines took as evidence. I was told Dale Marshall does not have the video. I'm sure this video was taken and shared personally with the members and should be considered public record within the Sunshine Law.
May I comment to that, please?
Sure.
Once we started with this new piece, all evidence back past that is now null and void. It is not in existence. What is presented tonight is what will be judged. Proceed.
The trustees fired Mr. Balzer and Mr. Gaines for improper conduct. The trustees reinstated Mr. Balzer and Mr. Gaines for not following the ORC to remove them. To my knowledge, no further action was taken for their improper conduct. There was
May I-
supposed to be additional training.
May I add that Mr. Balzer resigned?
Okay, I was never publicly stated.
Yes, it was. It was stated by me in a trustee meeting. I'm not sure of the exact date, but it was stated.
Confirm
in
that,
public.
yes.
Fair enough. The third BZA written notification, I had the day of the week listed wrong compared to the date the hearing was canceled, the day it was scheduled for. The new third meeting, we did not receive written notice at all. The first BZA was tabled for a stamped engineering study. No stamped engineering study was provided by the applicants. No evidence of hardship has been submitted with the application. Once again, there is no hardship and no variance should be granted. Mr. Gaines should recuse himself based on Dale Marshall's comments that moving forward, he will not be involved in this variance. His actions of gathering evidence and his comments about how he was supposed to help the applicants prove that he cannot be impartial. Once again, there is no hardship and no variance should be granted.
I have a question for you, Mr. Butler. You state twice there that letters were not received.
Once they were not received, I actually did receive it 2 days ago. It had 2 postmarks on it from July and August.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
This was written before the last meeting.
Okay. All right, because I sent out,
I have all the postmarks and all the.
I sent out, I have all the letters that are dated. So, you know, I sent them there on that date. I can't help what happens to the post office. If I tried to send them certificate, which is what is allowed as well, they would never get there. I can tell you because I've had problems with that through the post office.
Well,
So,
I mean, when I get 5 days notice for the first meeting, I was aware of the
I
notice
can't-
from
I-
Facebook. I'm not trying to argue.
yeah, I'm not arguing either.
I got a question for you.
We still have some questions for you, bud.
Okay, can I go first? Justin Bresnan.
Yeah.
So the one question I remember, and this has been a long time, and maybe this might be a question for everybody, but the first time when you were talking, was one of your hardships that you didn't want to see the building? Is that described now, or has that been revoked? And maybe you guys could help me with this. Did anyone remember hearing that?
He doesn't have a
It's not my
hardship.
job.
He doesn't have to,
Yeah, it's
he
not
doesn't
He
have,
doesn't have a
Approve
hardship.
he
Okay,
doesn't,
yep,
he
you're
doesn't
right.
have to do, he doesn't have to
But
comment
one
on
of his
it.
Correct.
complaints was
And the,
he didn't wanna see it.
For Mr. Gaines's question earlier, it's 6 feet over 90 feet. The entire yard is less than 6%.
So, on your topographic map, it's got, 686 and 687 right behind the driveway. Or 786 and 784. What's that distance there between those two lines?
1 inch is 100 feet. It's right there.
What are you
Right.
talking about?
It's
Ju-
right,
yeah.
I just answered it.
So it-
It's
it-
right there. 1 inch is 100 feet.
Right, so it's less than,
On the elevation of the topography,
on the topo.
on the topo map?
It's on the left-hand corner. 1 inch is 100 feet.
Yeah. Which really, I mean, that tells you the scale. If I had a ruler, we could,
We could do that, but if you notice,
there's also some,
if you
there's
notice the area
discrepancies.
between the rear of the driveway, where it's flat within the setbacks on the topography map,
The 680, or 786 and the 784. What's the distance between those two
you know,
yellow
I don't know
lines?
the exact
Okay.
distance on that.
What are the elevations, where they are?
I'm not here to prove a hardship, sir.
No, I know, I'm just, I
You
can't,
shouldn't confuse yourself in this.
then
word.
why do we have this information if you can't explain it?
What do I need to explain?
I'm just asking on your elevations, what are the different elevations? There's some on here that are missing elevations. Is this map to scale to where we could?
Topography map?
Yeah, is this to scale to where we can
See
take?
where it says BCEO on the bottom? It's probably to scale.
It's probably to
Well,
scale?
I mean, it's
Okay.
from the Butler County Engineer's
I
Office.
understand that, but like when you do drawings
I'm
and
not an
blueprints,
engineer.
I understand that. But when you do drawings and blueprints, to have something at scale so that we can check it now that you've presented it as evidence, it needs to be a certain scale so that we can put a ruler on here and be able to say, okay, 1 inch is 100 foot, but how do we know that this is to scale? It needs to be to scale so that we can check that because you're presenting it as evidence.
One-
Where would you play the, put my other pictures on there too?
Which one do you want? That one?
So that's the original topography map that was sent to me from before the construction was there. If you'd like to look at that one on there.
Yeah, I mean, there's
That's
no,
not on your handout, it's on the video.
That's,
not that.
It's on the,
Yeah.
my wife put it in there.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, and then the next picture, you'd like to put that on? Okay, this is from my house facing California Road, where their house was probably marked and ready to be put on there. So when they built their house, they have not a square yard. They chose to face California Road. They chose to put their house where they put it. They chose to put it as far to their right side as they could. All these choices they made when they built their house. Anything that they've done to put themselves in a position where they don't wanna put a garage is on them.
where's your, on this picture, you have, and it's kind of a question.
Standing in my front yard,
Yeah, where's your walkout?
towards California Road there.
Okay, so in the lowest spot of the two properties.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so when they did build their house, they also raised their house so they could have a walkout. When they raised their house so they could have a walkout, they brought in a considerable amount of dirt to grade that out and make their yard. They have created even more of a slope or slopey, whatever you wanna call it, than the original conditions in general. They could have faced their house to South Wire. They could have had the same backyard I have. They could have done several different things, but they chose to do what they wanted to do, which was have a 200 by 300 side yard instead of having much backyard.
Well, our septic
Not a
is over
side
there
yard.
anyway, so even if our house was turned the other way, then we would have had,
State your name, please.
sorry, Jeannie White. So we couldn't have moved our house further north anyway, because our septic tank and our leach field is all right there. So it's either facing this way or this way, but it's still in the same exact spot.
Matt White, 2266 California Road. So I don't know if you remember, Tim, but when we bought our lot, we bought it from somebody, and they already had plans for the leach field to be there.
Well,
Their
already
their
there.
house was actually facing California or South Wire, and then they got divorced, and we bought it from them. So unless we wanted to wait another year to put the house in the middle of the lot, we would have had to wait another year to let that soil settle for the leach field to get them motivated. So that's why we had to put it where we put it.
But at the end of
But
the day.
you're also not thinking 20 years down the road on what you need as you get older.
When you're building a house at 23 years old.
Okay,
I mean,
But that doesn't, none of that matters.
yeah,
I
none
mean,
of that matters. The fact is,
So-
is what we're asking for.
as far as purchasing property and when we did it, and why we did it,
I think
I don't
that's
remember what
irrelevant.
year it was. The Whites actually purchased 25 feet of the neighbor's yard to the south of them with the intention of putting this garage in to meet the setbacks. I don't remember what it was, I don't remember the exact year. It was, the little part that comes out 25 feet, that was purchased with the intention to meet the side setback with their garage. They're very well aware of what they're doing.
I got one more question for you.
Okay.
Justin Bresnan again. And I know I was completely in the wrong about the hardship question. I am trying to gather all the different, the elevation changes, the water changes, and I'm trying to take notes to all of that. And there's some good points to obviously to everybody. The comment that was in there earlier about not wanting to look at the building. The reason I want to note that, because, whether it's put here or put there, is that still part of your issue with it, or has that been eliminated?
I never said that.
So that wasn't said?
When did I say that?
That's what I,
The very
anybody,
first meeting.
the
That
very,
wasn't
The first
said.
meeting that they told me that
Very-
nothing was
very first
carried over
meeting.
from the first meeting?
yeah, so the first meeting is where I thought I had heard that.
Then it shouldn't have even
I
been
mean-
mentioned here.
So
because
let's make
honestly,
the, point of order, let's make this perfectly clear. Nothing from the previous meetings is to be brought up.
into the-
I
Understand.
don't, and you'll rarely hear me be this way, we need to stop this as a board. This starts anew. This
Yes.
is day zero. Anything beyond yesterday does not matter. So we
Yes.
should not ask questions about it, we should not inquire about it, and we should not feel any need to ask about it. Because you're gonna have fruit of the poison tree here, folks. And this, if you're not making the case that this is a new hearing of neutral members.
Understand.
Does everybody get that? I want to put that on record. It needs to stop.
Yes.
Ultimately, there's no hardship. Ultimately, 19-1 does not apply to a garage. There's no reason to put that back there. I feel throughout this whole thing that everyone has been asking me how this will affect me. It's like everybody is trying to say, well, how will this affect me? You should be asking them, what kind of hardship do they have? They don't have a hardship. They haven't presented anything. They have, a Butler water and soil thing that's not a stamped engineered study that was even asked for in the first place.
Dale, does the Butler County Soil and Water, for this case, is that substantial for the engineered report?
We're
For the water study.
going back again, folks.
You're
No,
going-
No.
the
I
water,
have to agree with it.
the
Just
water study is
Shut
in
it down.
this.
Shut it down.
It wasn't presented. Do
It's
you
on
have it
there.
as part of the did you have it as part of the packet today?
It's in the packet.
In the packet today.
Yeah, it's
Then it-
for,
But-
they have,
Yeah, it is.
I'm asking if it's the same thing as a engineered stamp? Is that the same?
I have no idea, other than that's where the one place I recommended them to go. I recommended them to go.
Right,
Butler County worked with them and gave them that,
right.
okay? Worked with them on that.
So does that suffice
Does it
our,
suffice,
our,
does it suffice
board's-
what you asked for?
Me
It's not
personally,
my
I took it
choice.
as not. It was
It's
a letter
not.
of recommendation.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, we're building a playground out here, and we need a stamped engineering plan, and it had to be stamped. they couldn't start it with their own plan because they say they're subject matter experts in it. It had to be stamped. And Darren had to go and get an engineering company to stamp it because that was the requirement. So if we required a stamped engineering plan, anything less than that is not a stamped engineering plan.
And even within that study, at the end of his study, it says this is not a legal.
It's an opinion.
This is an opinion, and it's fine, you know, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's certainly not a study of the entire yard to say, it doesn't show any hardship. It doesn't say they can't put it where it belongs because of the water. All it says is they can put some drains on the floor for their garage that doesn't have any gutters. You know, and then they wanna drive back there with no driveway and let everything up in the floor. I mean, there's so many levels of this that I could go on for days, but I feel like I've said enough,
Dale,
you know, there's no hardship.
Dale, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Hitch thing. We are here to hear which variance. You're giving your decision on, you're in his argument about one bedroom and all this. That's not in our purview. I want to make that, or is it? It's not. If you make that determination, that's between you and him. We're ruling on the BZA variance that they filed. You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
We can't change his decision.
The variance, as stated, it says that it's 50-foot setback.
Right, no, what I'm saying is they're requesting one thing, he's making the interpretation, we're not making that interpretation, is all I'm saying. We can either deny the variance or not, Dale can overrule us on that thing that you're arguing about, whether it's a bedroom or not, 1.9. We're not here to hear 1.9, correct?
Right.
Okay, that's what I wanna make sure everybody understands.
All the-
Whatever it is.
Well, the
19.1.
reason why.
Whatever.
Yeah, 19.1.
I got
19
ADD, whatever it is.
19 point,
So I have this is
11
Gabe
and 12.
Hernandez, I have a question for the Whites. Given the required setbacks, is there a hardship for placing the barn in that flat area, maintaining the setbacks?
Which setbacks?
Set
So
The 2550.
Yeah, because, I mean, there is a flat spot behind the driveway that's small. It's not big enough without, then the slope hits in. It slopes down and it slopes to the side. So we're, on the picture, yeah, it looks flat
Dale,
in
can
that
you go
one
to
little
that picture
spot.
real quick?
which picture?
But not
It would
a
be
26
number
by
2.
30 flat.
Number 2 in Mr.,
In that packet, yes.
in that pack
please.
that's up, that one there?
No, the other one. It's this one, yeah.
It's
Okay,
up there.
that's the one I've got up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Has the yellow square on it?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's the one.
Looking down doesn't give you,
Yeah,
I
I
know,
mean,
the
it's
slope,
on
right?
paper and
what-
straight
what-
and-
There are 4 elevations on there, they're all within 1 foot.
his
It's
problem.
flat there.
Or-
You saw the picture with the truck parked there,
well, but that,
Well,
driving on there.
Okay, but I'm asking the Whites at this point, so I'm just trying to
All right.
understand the slope that you're concerned about. How far is that slope? And obviously, you're gonna have to dig out or backfill to some degree, right?
Right.
What does that look like?
I mean, it's excessive. The closer you are to the end of the driveway, or the more excessive the slope is on the side. The further back you go into the corner of the lot, the flatter and flatter it gets right there. That's the most flat spot. As you go up, I mean, I don't
you can-
have the,
you can tell by the shed as well.
I have to ask a question to the Whites. Why does it have to be on a flat surface?
well, I mean, it makes the most sense, but, I mean,
Well, is there any other reason why it would have to be on a
I mean,
flat
it's a-
surface?
just excessive, just that excessive slope is gonna be excessive buildup, et cetera, and then potentially cause more drain off is the other problem.
I have a question. Do you have any proof that there's any excessive slope anywhere?
You can go out and look at it, but I guess nobody. Well, I know, but looking at a piece of paper and looking at it in person is totally
We,
different.
we just need one party talking at a time, so
Right.
who has the podium right now?
So,
Do you still have anything more you want to present? Okay.
You can see very clearly that that's a slight grade at best, any which way you look at it.
I mean, the way it's cropped.
Ma'am,
yeah.
Sorry.
Mrs. White,
There's-
he has the podium.
There's literally, I mean, there's not a flat piece of ground in this entire township.
True.
I mean, if there's nothing to build on there, there's nothing anywhere. I mean, you can see from the driveway to behind the shed where the property line is. It's the same grade all the way up to the driveway. There's no difference. It's actually probably more a hardship to build it to the back. Because you have to get back there. You have to, the way it slopes down towards your tree there.
Chris Gaines, other than this picture, obviously you're about 6 foot tall, taking a picture going straight across, already down, you've already stated that it does slope. How much does it slope?
According to the topography map, it was 6 feet over 90 feet. It's like 6 degrees.
That's
The
not,
entire yard.
that's not scaled. It probably would be scaled. I'm just asking, like, we don't know, correct? We don't know the exact slope, we don't know the exact distance, we don't know the exact height of the slope.
I've got a topography map.
He doesn't have to prove
No, I know.
He doesn't have to prove that.
He does not have to prove that.
Right.
The
Anyone
Whites,
else have anything else?
the Whites, do you have a response
Any-
to what Mr. Duncan just said?
Well, I mean, there's a
Name,
couple.
please.
Jeannie White. I mean, I'm still confused now because we were told that it was 21-ish feet was the correct setback now.
That's if you go to 19 point,
Right, right.
the back would have to be
So
that
is
way.
that what we're working with? Because that's what was submitted and we were told that was correct. So I want to confirm, first of all, that's correct.
Well, that's what you're asking for. It may not be correct, because the correct one, as I know it, as I told you when I was out there, that the correct ones are the 25-50.
Right, and then we brought up 19.1 and you said, oh, that's right.
That you could try to do it. That's right.
So
You could
who-
possibly do it. So now you've tried it.
So who makes that determination to
That
know what the
determination
regulations
sits right
are?
with these people, not me.
So we're determining 10 feet and 10 feet.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we're determining, not 19.1.
No,
Okay.
10 feet and 10
10
feet.
feet,
That-
10 feet is
That
the
was,
only thing.
Yeah,
that
10
was
feet
in
is
the
only
original
thing you want.
variance, and that has not changed.
And you have not changed that in there.
Okay.
Could I interact something as
Exactly.
well with the 1912?
Name and address, please.
My name's Tim Duncan, 7365 South Wire. That 19.1, 19.12, the way I read it and the way I understand it, that is very clearly in there to put a house on an existing property, existing lot of record. It's a reason to get a house on a piece of property. It's not to put a barn on somebody's property line, or a chicken house, or a pool or anything else. It specifically states a residence, a dwelling, it specifically states a single-family dwelling.
19.1 states that exactly as you've stated, Mr. Duncan. I would agree with that. But I will tell you this, in the past, it has been used for accessory structures as well. And it was not done by me before it was being done, even before then. So it is a precedence of sort and everything else.
So far down.
I have no idea. Okay? Other than that, I know that it was being used as a way for a person to go in, significantly reduce his thing with unnecessary hardships, show that he need to put his accessory structure there, closer to the property lines, okay?
But he doesn't have a picture of that.
With a hardship,
With a hardship, of course.
which there is no hardship in proven. They have no,
Chris Gaines, to the Whites.
Chris, the Whites do not have the podium. This gentleman does.
Okay.
I'm done unless anybody needs anything else. I think I've pretty clear.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Is anybody else from the audience that was sworn in would like to speak for or against? Please, sir.
Does he have standing?
Name and address.
Name and address, please.
Name is Claude No, 10444 Howard Road, Harrison, Ohio.
Mr., your last name, please? I'm sorry.
Claude No, N-O-E.
Mr. No, you do not have standing.
And why would that be?
because you are not in the township. You don't live in the township.
I don't need to be, I've been hired by this family as a
You've been
representative.
hired
Yes.
by this family. I see. Okay. Did I not also understand that you are a relative to one of them?
Yes, I am, and I'm also a zoning and building code official.
I
45 years
I understand that. We
experience and
talked about that
qualified to
at the beginning of
speak
the
at
last
this
meeting.
tonight.
But I'm not sure on the whole thing about being able to, we can let him speak, but as to how much of his information flows to you and sticks with you,
Is he representing them as legal counsel?
no,
Are you a member of the township?
no.
Then you're not eligible to speak.
And can I get those rules in writing?
After this meeting, you can,
After
yes.
this meeting, you can, yes.
Anybody else?
I make a motion to go to executive session.
I second it.
May I ask a reason why?
It has been ruled that it is with our, to have an executive session to discuss this without all of this. Correct, Dale?
That is correct. The state Supreme Court has ruled that as well. You are allowed to go into a discussion.
Show us going into executive session at 7:51 PM, please.
What do I do to keep that on? What do I do to keep that going then? Do I let it?
Just let it roll.
Let it roll?
Just make sure everybody's mics are off.
Yeah. Including my own, yes, that's right. Let me open that door.
mic's on.
Well, at least we have that one.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
It's 8:30, coming back out of session. Would anybody like to make a motion? Gabe, are you recording something as a motion, or?
Oh, I guess I am?
Oh, no,
do you
no.
want
Is there
I just
any-
saw you writing.
No, no. No, I could, I guess, so, all
I
right.
mean, I can too. If you have something, if you want to make a motion.
All right, I make a motion for MTBZA 2025 A-3 to not approve the variance.
For both the yard,
Oh,
the rear
yard,
and
yes.
side?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Could we have some discussion over that, please?
No, we will vote on it.
Alrighty. I don't have my little pieces of paper today, you'll have to forgive me, so,
You want these?
all right?
Pass these out?
Yeah, pass those out if you would, please. Write your name and your vote.
You want to collect these, Dale? Oh, we'll do it one way or the other. Okay.
That's correct. Oh, Dale, I need mine for those.
Wait, hold on.
Let me make sure I'm getting this right. Need to make it clear what they need both ways.
We gotta be off for
That's
this.
yours.
You say for or against?
Oh, wait a minute, then I
Do you
didn't.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody needs to take theirs back, so it's clear.
Yeah, here, you need, well, wait a minute.
This is if we're
Okay.
approving it. Yeah.
For or
For
against?
or against.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's,
Okay.
You're for denying it or against
yeah,
denying it?
yeah, that's it. Yes. Does anything else would be confusing?
Robert's Rules of Orders, guys, that's all I can say. Did I get yours?
It's right here.
Oh, that was his? Okay, all right. Okay. Let's see, I got it. Who seconded that, by the way?
I did.
Jeff did.
All right. Gabriel Hernandez, for the motion. Okay. Jeff Griffith, for denying. Steve Grody, yes, for deny, I assume. Okay. Justin Bresnan, against. Okay. Being picky, next time I'll get my little yellow ones that are, Mr. Gaines, no, against.
So your motion, is denied
has been denied.
for your
3-2.
area variance.
3-2, yes.
3-2.
No, 3-2.
It was 3-2.
3-2. Okay. You have 20 days in which you make an appeal to the Butler County, to the Butler County Courts, if you so desire. Okay? It's up to you.
Do you want to give them a
You
little
will be
discussion on
receiving
why now?
a summation
Well, he
from
gives no reason
me
why.
as best as I can put together the facts and as to the reasons why, along with it. It's called a decision and a summary of facts. But you will not receive that until about 10 days, okay? Because it takes me that long to
I
put it
can speak
together,
on it.
all right? And
Dale, would
in
you
that
like him to
respect.
speak on with the, so you have the facts?
Sure. You want to speak on the facts?
Yeah, I think the facts is there is really no hardship other than monetary, which you kind of alluded to. Because you can build it forward or you can build it back, and regardless, you still have to do estimating to put that structure in. And you really don't have to build a structure that size. That's the one you choose to build.
Okay, I'll listen to that on the tape too, as well, just that put together. Okay. You want to adjourn this portion of the meeting?
What else do we have? That,
Well, just adjourn this because it should be adjourned.
training? So that's the next one.
Yeah, training.
So what do you have there?
Well, you're free to go. If you want to listen to us talk about what training we're going to try to do over the next few years. Months or so to begin with. All right? I thought tonight that I would ask you this. I've given you that handbook, right? Do you have it with you by any chance? All right, have you looked it over?
This one?
Well, no, that's your zoning resolution.
This
I
guy.
do have that one.
Yeah,
It's in
that's
the-
your
it's in-
zoning
Yeah,
resolution,
I do have that one.
which is critical too for BZA people, all right? One thing that I found out, one thing that I'd like to do to start us off is, if you've read this, if you looked it over, what questions do you want to ask ourselves that we need to put into this? What are the issues that we need to learn more about? So that I can then focus some of this on there too as well. We are going to be rewriting it. What are the places where what's there doesn't work for today?
Visitation.
The what?
Visitation.
Well, if I could ever get a clear answer on that one.
So could I confirm what you're saying? You're saying to put the revisions in right now, or
No,
just
no,
the
no, no.
topics that?
Topics
to
that we need to
discuss.
talk about and work on writing them and
Yes,
changing them.
okay, thank you.
I mean,
I do have one, I don't know if you said this, site visits?
Yeah,
Yeah.
visitation.
You did just
yeah.
say that, okay, I didn't hear you.
But then also too, like what we can and cannot do on the visitation, as far as collecting our own information to be able to
If it's possible.
make an educated decision along with whatever applicants give or for or against, to be able to compile all of the evidence.
And your idea is that we would put this in as a section of our handbook saying that you have either you go out as a
Group.
As a
group
or
or you,
individually.
or an individually. And then there would be rules for the group or rules, and then of course the
Individual.
regulations for the individual, but it
Yep.
may not be both. We can put
Correct.
in
Right.
only what I find out and finally get an answer to
Right.
as to whether you go out by yourselves or you go out as a group.
Right. And then what are you allowed to do while you're out there? just visually inspect, take
Right.
measurements, those kind of things.
Okay, all right.
Regarding the site visit also, just another point is the amount of time we have to notify the owner that if it is group or individual, when do we notify? If we notify,
And how?
and how?
Email or,
Right.
Okay,
right? But I think also putting on, depending on whether it's group or individual, you still need the approval from the applicant.
oh, yes,
So I think there needs to be a section on the application that states at any given time with notice to the applicant, whatever we decide, group / individuals can make an appointment to come on site. Please stay in your house, please, like whatever set rules for the applicant as well, to where it's, we keep it as
right,
as kosher as possible.
right. Because you are out there to
Right. Well, nothing can be construed
construed, right,
as colluding or,
favoritism or
Right.
any of that.
right.
And it has to be all people are gonna hear it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a union ID then,
Yeah, please.
Did you send me a picture?
No, nobody told me to.
I need a picture.
Okay.
I didn't tell her, I forgot about it,
I'll make
Jeff,
it
you'll have to
tomorrow.
forgive me. Yeah, but, I mean, that sounds good, guys. I'm just listening, that's all
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
doing, because it's you who are going to write this, and I will just put it in the words, because that's part of my job, all right? Heavens, I do it with the zoning commission all the time, right? And everything else. Anything else, Steve, any thoughts that you have? They've
No.
touched the big base,
Yeah.
okay? All right, what about procedures within the meeting itself?
I think it just needs to be, like, more compact, to where, like, obviously, like, just tonight, for instance, like, Gabe asked a question when somebody else had the floor and got answered. I asked a question but was shot down because
Yeah.
they didn't have the floor. So, like, knowing whoever has the floor, that's who the question is direct to, and then after they have that, just,
Well,
and that's just gonna be the process. We
Dale,
don't have a
Dale,
lot
in
of
the
this.
future, the applicant mic on that table
Yeah.
will not be present.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna happen from that podium.
Agree.
That way, whoever has the mic has the floor.
Yep.
Okay.
There's
That's
too
all.
many, there's too
All right,
many
Mike,
people that,
Only one microphone.
Yeah.
correct.
Yes, I agree with that, for sure.
I think procedurally, I think everything else is decent, because it's not, if we did this 4 times a month, the procedure would be
Yeah.
common.
Yeah.
To where
yeah.
we're doing this once every month or once every few months, where it's like, oh wait, this is the way.
Dale,
you
the
know.
other
But-
thing,
But I think too, once that email's up with, and just more training, looking at
Yeah.
more of those
I apologize for
webinars
that.
and stuff like
I
that, like.
went to set it up for Steve, okay, and everything else, and got to the point where it was a situation of changing password so that I would know what it is, because this humongous password that Chris gave me for the first one, and I went in and tried to change it, and it wouldn't let me change, okay? So, but to tell you what it is, because you weren't here last time, I have set up 2 email boxes, okay? One is zoningcom@morgantownship.org, and the other one is zoningbza@morgantownship.org. You have been given a membership to the OTA, paid for by
The trustees.
the trustees, okay? So has Ken Tumlinson for the zoning side.
And why do I need that?
You need it because they're going to log in as the email situation, but your name needs to be behind it. You
So
understand what I'm saying?
as the chair,
As the chair.
you have the account, and then all of us use your password to go in.
Right.
You weren't here last week, but we can go look at webinars on, for
Oh, I
training
see.
and stuff.
Yeah,
To-
and it's and seriously, I showed them, and I'll be glad to show you again, but it's very easy, very simple. But you go in, they have to go in as, the sign-in will be for the, mailbox, okay? Because I log in to the OTA as zoning@morgantownship.org. But underneath there, I have a profile that has my name on it and states that I'm an OTA member, okay? Get a lot of little neat things. You can go to the conference now. Of course, you could always go to the conference if you wanted to pay, and stuff like that. But I gotta work with Chris on that to get them straight so that I get,
I tried to steal on your web, no, I know why you tried to steal it. I need a web email account. I tried to steal yours, you said no now, I realized.
well, you could use the zoning@morgantownship.org.
No, I need it for an employee.
Oh, okay. You could, I mean, I could have left it, leave it at zoning@morgantownship.org under me. But then there's 12 people who at any given time could try to be on there. And it only allows one at a time. So narrowing it down and giving 3 mailboxes is
Between 17 people.
17 people.
Or- yeah.
Yeah, is a little better to use, because you're using, when you go on there, you're using my name underneath it, okay? Or as you will be using Steve's, or the commission will be using Ken's. And so, in that respect, but I think that will be a helpful thing. Now, it has to be up to you to go use it. We'll get it set up and we're gonna run with it.
Well, that too, and I think, because you're on it a lot more than we would be on it, so like if you see something, send an email out and say, hey, before our next meeting, I'd like everybody to go to
Visit this.
webinar XYZ, so
Right.
that we can discuss it
We have questions.
after our next BZA meeting or
That would be
whatever.
very
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I felt as a good approach, because I was discussing with Steve Mackey, who runs all this up at the OTA, and basically, that's what he suggested, that we do it this way. Because it would take, he said you're gonna have to make one person an OTA member for each of the emails that you would do, rather than do 17 email addresses, so that you got profiles.
Right,
And pay for those, because it's like $45
a piece.
a piece. And then the 2 mailboxes are $19 a month, because they're from Google. So the township is supporting this, okay? Therefore, you feel like you're being paid a little bit, but not
$19.
$19 a month, no, $9.50,
Yeah.
okay? For yours, one side or the other, okay?
Just something from this one as well is just the proximity to the applicant. At what point, obviously, family, but is it, like, where does it go from there? Is it?
Which a line stop,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, so like, is it coworker, is it neighbor, is it wife's friend, is it,
To do what?
as far as recusing yourself, like at what level does that?
Oh,
Just
okay.
so,
Plus the degrees of separation.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, obviously family, right, we've found out, but like, what, how far does that go? To
I
where
think you need to bring it in that deal.
it's a,
Well,
it's an
I also-
individual case,
I
like,
think you bring it in deal, calls Jack Rowley and says,
Well, I think you know, too, as well.
right,
It has to come from you two as well, not just being,
you have
Right.
to self-identify, but
Right.
he can get a ruling on it. that he
yeah,
thinks
and I can call Jack and rule,
That's a
get a
5-minute
ruling on it.
discussion.
right, yeah.
It's not, and everything else. I mean, but you gotta understand, I felt so blown away by the fact that I mean, we'd had the meeting and we were ready to go into the second meeting. And the Sunday before that meeting, I get telephone calls from people saying this and that. And I mean, So I moved as quickly as I could. I know I felt like it's probably hurt some of you in terms of doing it and everything else. It was not my intent. My
No,
intent is to deliver to anybody who comes in here a reasonably quality.
No, I don't think there was any ill intent on,
No, there
on
was-
either side. It
no.
was just, it was,
I tend to be a ramrod sometimes in my business thing. Get it done, get it over with, move on.
Do we need another meeting in the future, or
Well,
you got anything coming up?
I don't have anything coming up that I know of.
Okay,
The only thing I can think of is, we haven't done, there is a property over on Bell Road that is, the guy would like to see if he could split it, but I don't want to tell you the details of it, but it is it's kind of like the Lehigh split for Miss Poe.
but he hasn't come in and filed for a
He
variance.
hasn't filed for it, he's not even gone to it, we're just in, his builder, has been in to discuss if it was possible that he could split this 10 acres, but this 10 acres, or 12 acres, only has 10 foot of road frontage. Okay, and everything else, so it's not landlocked, but to split it and make the 200 feet of road frontage is impossible.
Right,
Right.
right.
So I was just wondering
So,
that too.
he could build one house on it.
Where's that
Go
in
ahead
there?
and build
Was-
a house
that's the
on
key.
it.
Yeah, 'cause that's the way it's
That's the
deeded.
way it's
Maybe.
deeded.
Sure.
I was wondering, I was just thinking about that same thing.
why was it?
These
denied at
decisions,
one?
guys,
Yeah.
are getting harder and harder every day for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and why is that happening?
I was
Why is it
wondering
getting
the same
harder
thing.
and harder for me to make a decision like that?
I can ask him.
It's because we've grown to the point where we, bare land,
Okay, good call.
or sellable land
Right, I mean, I kinda
is
knew, but
getting less here in the township, especially in and around the.
Oh, it shouldn't be harder for you to make a decision, because this book is very black and white.
I know,
yeah,
it is. And,
from either side.
and everything else too, but in some cases there's little shades of gray that come in.
Yeah.
We need to get the gray out.
Well, we're the
Yeah,
gray, we're the gray, you're the black and white.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I said, I'm the black and white.
Oh,
Oh, we didn't know that, come on. Yes, Gabe?
Just a point, I guess, on the rules and regulations, a blurb on social media, knowing that we've got notices going out on Facebook,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that's because the state is, I could still do it in the paper.
Well, I mean, Facebook is fine, you just
Yeah.
you minimize or limit the comment section, or I think you can.
Yeah, you can turn it off.
Right?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
turn it off.
Okay,
And I didn't know that until today,
okay.
to tell
So-
you the truth.
so let me ask you, legally, what do they consider avenues of notification, legal avenues of notification?
Now, you still have the papers if you want to send them through, but that's got some cost behind it. Anywhere from 125 to 175, depending on the
Okay.
length of it. We could do our website, but if we do our, and then we can do Facebook or any other piece of social media we want to put it on. So I have done our website and Lotus and the Facebook piece.
Do you have to do Facebook if you put it on the website?
That's a question I've got to get answered to myself again, because I was under the understanding when it all came in that if you put it on your website, you didn't have to put it anywhere else.
Yeah,
And I got to
Then
reconfirm that.
problem solved,
But,
just put
yeah.
it there.
yeah, yeah,
Put
yeah.
it there,
The other
Because
thing
you're
you could
paying for the
do,
website already.
yeah,
yeah.
the other thing you could do possibly is at a zoning, or at a trustee meeting, announce it there, saying, hey, we have a BZA hearing coming up on this date at this time. Here's the gist of it.
I always do.
That way it's on
don't I?
YouTube
I
and in
always-
here.
By the post, okay. You can show me where it's at, because I learned that one fairly quickly, how to post on it, anyway. Back to what you were saying. I do that anyway.
Right. I've been here
If
to,
you-
so
if
it's
you
on
listen-
YouTube as well. at that point.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, it is everywhere it needs to be.
Yeah.
Now with the zoning commission, I do a post of the agenda. But if we're doing just a general meeting, I would do the same on, Facebook.
Right.
And put our agenda there, say, hey, the BZA's meeting, we're going to be then this
X,
and
Y, and
this.
Z.
But if if there's also a hearing that has to be done, then, you know, I would also put it on Facebook if we could turn the comments off.
Right.
All right. And isn't that funny that one little thing like that is, and I don't think the legislature was aware of it when they passed to allow them to be posted there.
Right.
In that respect, that it could do that, and so, and everything else too. Okay, well, I'll run with this first, and now, as to setting a meeting, I know at the beginning of the year when we had our January meeting, we said we would only be as needed, all right? But how do you want to do this, guys? This is you, it's not me.
I mean, there's no sense meeting just to, now if somebody has a question or some education topic, that's fine, but it's coming together just to sit here and say, doesn't really serve, I mean, everybody's busy in life.
Right.
But if somebody has a question, they take a seminar and they're like, I don't understand this, maybe then you have a meeting to go over those topics that people may not understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the key is to get the webinar learning up and going,
Yeah.
because that's gonna be
If you
crucial.
watch more questions, you'll be like,
will
what about
arise.
this? You may have a list of questions,
Right.
and then you have a meeting to go over those and start.
Yeah, the webinars are are more, they're every month. There's one every month, okay? And as Jeff suggested, that I, look at them. In fact, there's one coming up on the 26th, and it deals with a very important topic about zoning that I have to watch, that I want to watch. But I usually have to wait because I will register for it, okay? I will register for it, and then I can't make the date because it happens to fall, say, in an afternoon, and I'm usually not at work on the afternoons. And so I don't come in to watch it. I mean, I could watch it at home, but I do end up watching them here at work.
So I think for me, I think one of the next meetings, and hopefully in a month or so roughly, is finishing this out,
That's,
right? Because I think,
That's my
I'm
goal
gonna
too.
go through it a little bit more to see if there's
Okay.
anything else that needs to be added or maybe questioned or
Tweaked.
removed, right?
Yep.
So the next time we come together, we can finalize it if we can, agree or disagree on some of these items or whatever it may be, but I think maybe in a month to meet to talk
sort
about
of the
it.
end of September, maybe?
You probably, yeah.
I mean, also that, at that point, the webinar might be up, so we could watch one of those and discuss that too.
Yeah. All right. Well, I tell you what, tomorrow I will just post an email to you guys, giving you, do you want to do it on a Thursday like we always have?
That should be fine.
I think that's been pretty steady for forever, hasn't it? It
Yeah,
seems
I like Thursday.
Yeah, for 20 years or so on Thursdays,
Okay.
and everything else too. So I'll look at the calendar then and pick either the third week or the last week. Okay, whatever that Thursday falls. Or if you want to do it now, it would be fine too. All right. I think that's enough, okay. Any other questions for me? There's really nothing going on in the township right now. I've had, for the month of August, I've only had 3 certificates so far, and everything else. I've had lots of calls, people asking if they can do this and they can do that, but nothing that's leading to anything that would affect you at this point in time. Trying to finish up some of the already constructed buildings or accessory structures and get them checked out to see although there's not much I can do about it if something's wrong with it at this time because it's gone so long. But that's been the hardest thing, is to get out there and do those inspections.
Correct.
All right?
Yeah. The minutes. A BZA hearing is open to the public, but is not a public hearing where members of the general public may speak. In Rocky Point Plaza versus whoever, the fact that an auditory hearing are open to the public does not result in transformation into a legislative public hearing with corresponding right to receive input from the public, other than the.
Thank you. And we'll further deepen that with,
And I think we need to put that
Yes.
in there.
in the handbook, yeah.
I think that's a big one.
That is a big one.
Dale, one more thing too, was the thing to add in there about the packets. What is the guidelines on accepting packets?
Okay. Okay.
I remember you
What-
saying
what
that
I-
it was,
what I wanna
we
see
are
is
allowed
a-
to, though. I remember you saying you looked into that.
You want to say that again, because I missed part of it.
That was it. That was just, I remember you had mentioning that we were allowed to accept the packets from the candidates.
Yeah, that needs to go in there. From those who have standing and standing only.
Standing and standing only, okay.
And standing is defined as individuals who own property or reside within the affected area or whose property is adjacent to the area impacted by the BZA's decision are typically granted standing.
And that can go in there
And that's,
too.
that's right out of the state of Ohio.
State of Ohio, yeah.
And they can give these.
Unless they had legal counsel.
No, but this came from, like, is it applicant and
Oh,
for
we
and
talking
against?
about that packet?
Yeah, like for and against, like what is that?
Yeah, well, I think the correct way to do it is when you send out your letter, that we have this ahead of time. Whether somebody
Yeah.
wants to,
Like, did they have one tonight?
Who?
all the surrounding neighbors get,
No, this.
You had theirs, that's in the
Yes, I
applicant.
have theirs.
Right,
Did
but-
they have his?
Mr. Duncan's.
No, they did not.
So like that,
I apologize for that.
but I don't know, that's what,
I would check that.
Yeah, I mean,
I would too.
seriously, this is so law, guys. It
Right.
really
No.
is. You can see where it's not a court.
Right.
There's a difference.
Our
Judicial.
correct.
procedure, right, and our decision is,
right. Well, and that's why we're asking like what, and we're fixing that. Like we're
Right.
taking the gray out to where we know.
as much of the gray as we
As we
can.
can. Right,
I mean,
right,
you
right.
know, it's not going to be black and white. It's
Right.
going to stay gray.
But
in all areas.
if there's this much gray and we can make it this much, we can better.
And one of the things I'm going to do too, since we have a date kind of set there in September, is I will invite Mr. Grove. And you guys
Yes.
can
Yeah.
ask him all the questions you want.
I like that.
All right? And everything else too.
Yeah.
We will put together a torrid group of people here, all right? Any other questions for me tonight?
I think that's it.
Hear a
Well, thank
motion
you,
to
guys.
adjourn? Second,
I second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right, turn your mics on. Yeah, stop it.
A meeting ended at 9:03.